one of the things we talk about is range, and that's we talk a lot about context and where you are in the market, how far away from value on which time frame, and all those things obviously matter. But here's another reason why I think day trading is a difficult game. So when you look at today's range, I'm going to break it down for you in the 1 minute chart because it's really the best way I can do this. Total range today for a day trader is this high right here. That's where we opened, and that was 2054, which happened to be down 10 or so by the time we opened. And guess what? From 2054, we traded down to almost 2040. All right, so here's your range now for the day traders. So if you're not a day trader, how can you use this information? Well, you can use it quite well because you know now where people are trapped. And right now, strangely enough, our range is 14 points, and we're right in the middle. Not strangely enough, but this is how it happens. We bounced a little bit, and I'm going to draw a quick fib for you here. Anyways, so you can see here, we bounced right to the 61A, where it came off, returning again. I'd bet we're going to have a difficult time getting back up into this area, 2051. So because of the time of the day, I wouldn't be chasing this. However, if we come back down here and don't break to a new low again, you're gonna get into a situation where anybody that's been getting short late in the day could get trapped. All right, so this is always how I look at it. Who can get hurt the most at the end of the day when it comes to day traders? How can I use those people to my advantage? And then start thinking about that. And that kind of evolves as the day goes on. So the range is important. Now, for the week, we've gone from 2116 down to 2040, and that is, we'll call it 76 points, nearly 4%. Huge sell-off. All right, nothing. We've got the Brexit happening, the vote next week. We're oversold. We've kind of gone through a lot of these numbers. I'm not sure what else can take this market down today. But this range is tight. This total range in the day trade is 14 points, so it's 0.75%, although we're down about 0.75%. So 14 points right now is our range. Let's see kind of how this plays out. But how can you use this information to take advantage? All right, so again, if 2040 holds in the afternoon, we could have a serious snapback, say to 2065. You see the value points here for the week? That would just get us back into kind of where we should be. That's what value means on the short term. Doesn't mean we're going to go there, but that's just a good way of looking at it. And if I showed you gold right now, although we made new highs, it's all in the close tomorrow. And this one, again, to me, we've got to close over 1308, and guess what? We're above it right now. We're trapping a lot of longs, but we still have today and tomorrow before this market closes. And, the big hours for this, are really, really tightly contained between, say 4 a.m. and the next 2 hours. So, the gold market's closed here in just a couple more hours. And that trap that was set right in here, it's a great opportunity, I think, to sell this market. So hard to sell a new high, but it's a new high that hasn't closed yet, and value still is way back here at 1288. I wouldn't even be surprised if we traded back to this by tomorrow. No, it may not happen tomorrow, but the point is you kind of recognize where you come from. And this gold just went from, in less than 2 weeks, went from 1206 all the way up to 1318. And it's 112 points. And that is pretty much 10%. So, again, monster move. Bonds are up. Talked about that earlier. Almost all-time highs, 133.15. was the all-time high there. And we're trading at 132.10, and everything is just actually just sold off a little bit here. It was here a minute ago, made a new high, but I wanted to bring this up because something's wrong here. The all-time high, or the 3-year high, excuse me, is 133.15. The high and the all-time was 135. So we're kind of coming back into that area where bonds, I think, are going to blow off. When they blow off, that's going to be probably the time when equities are hitting, a move low, and they're going to be able to be bought. When that happens, and equities may not be at a low then, but when that happens, it's going to be a fantastic long setup. I think this market's going to go significantly high over the next few years, just because nobody's going to believe it, and everybody's too short still right now. Until retail short, everybody's short. Nobody can believe that things are good. So, because of that lack of participation alongside this market, as far as the equities will go higher in the future. These again are just macro thoughts. Kind of headed on to where I think this market is and where I think it could go. But coming back to that, how wide are you? The NASDAQ, one more example here. The NASDAQ today, our total range from open to now, again, opening. You can look at overnight ranges also. That's the next, if we get outside of the day ranges, then you start looking at the overnight. That's part of the strategy also. So this has a little bit more room to move. This could run up to, say, 43.77. So look for a continuation move there, 43.77, 43.85, and then your big balance on the 5 minutes up here at 44.18. But I'd say up in this area, if possible today, 4,400, if we continue, if the low holds. So see where we are this afternoon. You may get another good buy opportunity on dips. If you missed it this morning, trying to pick an area, 43.50 looked like a decent area, but never got to that number. Again, round numbers don't get hit. You have to take a little pain sometimes in these markets if you want to participate. That's about it. We'll talk soon. Peace.